同学们好. It is our 22nd and last class of the second section, Young Family Traditional Form little course. It is the 26th of October, so next Wednesday we'll be starting with the third section in this same slot. So let us begin with our standing practice, and we'll go a little bit longer since in the course of the last 22 classes, we've been gradually spending more and more time in this stance, and also give me a chance to talk a little bit more about some of the theory. So we are going to do standing practice, feet parallel, shoulder width or a bit wider. Sink your weight down, arms rounded. And the 4 posture checks. 1 is head up. 2, shoulders down, elbows down. 3, absorb the chest and round the back. 4, relax the waist. And then there are also our lower body. That was upper body, middle body. For lower body, we have weight over the bubbling well, which is even forward back, a little bit more on the ball than the heel, and then crotch rounded so that it's even on the inside and the outside of your feet. So we'll be about 3 minutes here. If your arms get tired, you can always bring your arms down and just rest them for a little bit and bring them up again if you want. Straighten out of the position if it gets uncomfortable. And you can keep doing the checks if you want, but let me just provide a little bit more context. So standing practice allows us to train 3 things. It trains our posture, what we've just talked about. Number 2, it trains our breathing, so breathing into the abdomen. So as you're in this posture, mouth closed, teeth gently touching, tongue on the roof of the mouth, breathe in and out gently and observe your abdomen expanding as you breathe in and contracting as you breathe out. And the purpose of our posture is to make sure that we have the most natural abdominal breathing, which is the kind of breathing we have when we're asleep, which is very hard to do when you're awake, especially if you're standing up, and even more when you're moving. That's why we practice it in this posture. And then the third thing that we train is gradually we try to have a calm mind, because when we're doing the form, or when we're doing this as a martial art, if we ever were to try that, the idea is that the mind remains calm as the body moves. So those are the 3 things we're training: posture, breathing, and mind. But actually what they're helping us do is relax in the sense of Feng Shui, Chinese sense of relax, which is open and extended. Everything is open and extended. So feel as your head pushes up and your waist relaxes, you're extending your spine. And as you're pulling out at the elbows to absorb the chest and round the back, you're opening your back left to right. And you want this opening throughout your whole form. And what this opening and extending allows us to do is to soften, what we call soft. It's how we practice soft. Tai Chi Chuan is about yin yang. There's always binaries. So there's soft and hard. The first thing we want to practice is how to be soft. And then we practice uniting soft into hard. Another yin yang that we have is internal and external. And so there's some external. You can see if somebody's posture is grossly wrong. But really, breathing is internal. It's something only you can feel, and only you can feel the opening and extension. And yet another binary is still and moving. So here we're practicing still, and in a moment we'll be doing moving practice. The principle, young Chengfu had 10 essential principles. And this one that we're practicing here is use intent, not force. And what the gloss says is, in fact, it's about being relaxed, being open, and being extended. So we're going to finish in 10 seconds. And as we practice the form together, try and feel this opening and extension through your form. You want this kind of posture, even though you're moving. So we'll stop there. And that is our standing practice. And I see Michael has joined us. Welcome, Michael. Great to see you. Are there any questions about that little homily? Okay, so today is our second review class. We're going to try something different from last week. So last week we actually looked at footwork, the empty and full, where was empty, where was full, which is another of Yang Chengfu's essential principles. Today we'll actually be looking at the coordination of upper and lower body. So starting with a strong root, how we go into from the feet, through the legs, through the waist, into the arms. And I'll focus a few movements and we'll work on those in particular. But first, let's practice the whole second section together. And as we go through it, see if there are any things you have a question about. And you don't have to remember the name of the form. You can just approximately describe it and we'll figure out what it is. We'll do the second section as a form on its own. So we'll actually start in prepare and we'll do, instead of opening, we'll go into cross hands. And then we'll do the form and we'll finish in cross hands and then go back to the starting position. I'll practice facing the same direction as you, or what I imagine to be the same direction as you. So we're in prepare. Second section. Opening. As you sink, cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Transition to fist under elbow. Fist under elbow. Step back, repulse monkey. 1, 2, 3. Diagonal flying. Raise hands. Step forward. White crane. Spreads its wings. Left brush knee. Needle at C bottom. Down through the back. Turn body. Chop with fist. Step forward. Parry, block, and punch. Step up, grassbird's tail. Roll back. Press. Push. Transition to single whip. Single whip. Cloud hands. One. Two. Three. Single whip. High pat on horse. Transition to right separation kick. Right separation kick. Transition to left separation kick. Left separation kick. Turn body. Left heel kick. Left brush knee. Right brush knee. Step forward, punch down. Turn body, chop with fist. Step forward, parry, block and punch. Right heel kick. Left strike tiger. Right strike tiger. Right heel kick. Twin fists. Boxing opponent's ears. Left heel kick. Turn body. Right heel kick. Parry, block and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Closing. Back to original position.
I have a forgetfulness, and I'm hoping once and for all to resolve it. There are two turn bodies. One is
Yes.
360 degrees, one is 180 degrees. Could you just make it absolutely solid for me which is first?
Okay, So let's just explore that just to make sure that I'm on the same page as you, Judy.
So too.
We when you say turn body, so there are in the second section there are two turn body chop with fist movements. That's
No,
not what you mean.
no,
It
I'm talking
means
separation. Um, but you after in the separation kick part.
yes.
Um, if I need to get my glasses and a pen, but then I can read you exactly.
No, no, no. Let me. I think I'm now. I think I get it now. So it's after the separation kicks. There's a turn body left heel kick,
Yes,
and then after we've done twin fists, there is a from turn body left heel kick to turn body right heel kick.
that's the part where I'm
Yes.
really forgetting.
Okay. And what's the question?
All right, on turn body and left heel kick, which is movement number 39 according to my note.
Hmm.
The first heel kick is 180 degrees.
Yes.
You're going, um, and then the second one after left heel kick, which would be movement 51, is turn body and right heel kick. And my notes say 360 degrees, but
Correct.
I
Yes.
I don't have those glued in properly.
Okay. So
I'm gonna get a pencil, so excuse me if you don't see me for a second.
sure. I think the one way, well, it takes us time to learn or relearn, and when we stop doing it for a while, it all just falls out. At least it falls out of my head. Um, so uh, after we have done the separation kick, that is the 180-degree turn. After we've done the twin fists and the left heel kick, going to turn body right heel kick, that's the 360. Another way of thinking about it is that the first turn that you do, which is the one after separation kick, is 180 degrees.
Yes.
And then the second one, the one near the end of the form, is the whole Hail Mary.
Okay. So you go right separation kick, left separation kick, turn body and left heel kick
Ye-
is 180 degrees.
Yes,
And then it's right brush knee and push. And
correct. Yeah, actually left first and then right and then punch down.
right. And so when you're punching down, you're going in the opposite direction. Most of the movements are,
Yes.
yeah, um,
Well, I'll go through the directions in a moment. And actually, Marin, you had something?
I just wanted to say the way I remember those two different kicks, like I don't think too much about the numbers of degrees. I know that with the first one, I'm going to be going from pointing 9 o'clock to pointing at 3 o'clock. So it's just opposite directions. And the first turn, and then the second turn of the last one of the movement is completely turned around to go,
Yeah.
and that's how I remember it. I don't know if that helps.
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
So in terms of the directions, Judy, one way to think about it is, if we're facing towards the front, we're all facing towards the front. We always do single whip this way.
Right.
And so when we go into the separation kicks, we go into it from high pat on horse, which is in this direction. So we're going to do one separation kick. We're going to do another separation kick. So we're facing to the left or the 9 o'clock direction, if you will. Then we're going to do the turn. Then we're going to the other direction, which is the 3 o'clock direction. And then from here, we're going to do the left brush knee, right brush knee, punching down, and then we turn around again through 180 degrees and do turn body chop with fist.
Yes. Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. So let's see if there are any other questions before I move on. Nope. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I've got a sort of a roster of some movements that I know we often struggle with in terms of coordinating lower and upper. And so I'll work through as many of them as make sense today. We'll start sort of at one end of the form and go through to the other with the main ones. And let me just first talk about the principle. So the principle that we're going to be studying now is coordinating upper and lower. And the way that from the Tai Chi Chuan classics, there's a saying, the energy is rooted in the feet, generated in the legs, distributed through the waist, and shows up in, well, the classics say the hands, but essentially, you know, these limbs. And so what we really want is a wave that moves from the lower body into the upper body. So that's the one thing. The coordination, when we say coordinate upper and lower, is the coordination of a wave. The other coordination is that there are actually snapshots where, you know, we can check, you know, the feet and the hand should arrive roughly the same time. And I'll call those out as we go through this. So that's the coordination. Yin and yang, that we need to balance this against something else, which is when we do these checkpoints, we tend to do something, stop, something else, stop, something else, stop. But that's just for learning. When we perform the movements, we want to practice continuously and without interruption. The energy flows continuously until we deliver the energy at the end of a movement. Then we pause momentarily, go on to the next movement. And so the goal is to be smooth. Once you've learned the coordination, smooth it all out. So let's do this. So we've started, and we started in cross hands. We're going to look at rollback. So we do rollback. We're actually going, you know, if you're looking at the screen, you end up going sort of to the behind you. But I'm going to turn around. So you're going to end up in essentially a right bow stance. And what I want to practice is how we coordinate the arm movements to go into rollback, how we coordinate upper and lower, because this is tricky. Okay, so we're in a right bow stance. We're essentially in right brush knees. So we're striking with the left hand. The right hand is by the right thigh. So let's go through it with the checkpoints. So one, you move your weight to 50-50 between the legs. Pick up the right arm so that the right palm is in front of the shoulder. The left palm turns over. Two, you're pushing out with the right forearm and pulling back with the left arm, and you shifting your weight all the way back onto the left side. So you've got 70% in the left leg, 30% in the right, and then you do a waist turn. That's the end of rollback. I'll turn in another direction. We're starting in a right bow stance. So one, lift the right palm, rotate the left. Two, press out with the right, pull with the left as you shift your weight onto the left, 70% onto the left, then turn your waist to roll back. So the arm movement that is surprisingly tricky is as you shift back, right arm up, left arm turns over, push out, and then roll back. What I want us to do together just a few times is just doing this circle with the arms. So as we move our weight back, the right arm comes up, right arm goes forward, left arm comes back. So go back forward again, make a circle. Right arm up, right arm forward. Reset. So the left arm goes forward, right arm comes down. Right arm up, left turns over. Push out with the right forearm, pull with the left. And so you can see you can do this quickly. It's a sort of a circular movement. And the difference between this rollback and the rollback in the first section is in the first section, when we do rollback, it's a horizontal movement. You imagine we're starting at right ward off. It's a horizontal movement. Here, it's actually the arms are vertical until you get here. Then it's a horizontal movement. The reason why this is important is we use it again and again, and actually in the second section we use it repeatedly. So let's practice the other place where we use it, which is after we've done chop with fist. So we've done chop with fist, and you're in a right bow stance. Your right fist is by your right hip, and your left palm is striking out. So the only difference now is that instead of your palm being face down, your palm is in a fist. So again, as we go into parry, block, and punch, 1, shift back weight halfway, lift the right fist in front of the shoulder, rotate the left arm, then push out with the right, pull back with the left. Now we're going to do parry, block, and punch. Circle both arms down, step through, second parry, and punch. But you can see that the beginning of this parry, block, and punch is the same as the beginning of rollback. So let's just do those two, and let's do the parry, block, and punch again. And then we'll alternate them. So we're in right bow stance, right fist by the right hip crease, striking out with the left. So 1, shift weight back halfway, lift the right fist, rotate the right fist, left palm up. 2, shift the weight onto the left leg, connect out with the right forearm center. Now we're going to go into parry, block, and punch. Both arms circle down and to the back as the left foot comes back. Heel touch as the arms are to the back corner. That's a coordination point. Shift your weight forward, connect out. Your left toe is just coming off the floor. Step out, block, heel. So here's another coordination point. And punch. So let's do those two. So we'll start with essentially the right brush knee, which is at the end of a braced tiger at the beginning. So we're in a right bow stance, right palm down by the right thigh. We're going to do rollback. 1, start shifting weight back, lift the right palm to the right shoulder, rotate the left, push out as you sit your weight back, and now roll back. It's just a waist turn. Now we'll do the parry, block, and punch. We've done turn body chop with fist. 1, shift back the weight, lift the right palm to the right shoulder, rotate the left arm palm up, push out with the right, pull with the left. Now we're going to do parry, block, and punch. Both arms circle down to the corner, step heel center line to sides when the arms are to the back, shift forward weight as you do the second parry. You're just touching with the left toe, step through, heel touch as you block out with the left arm, right fist by right hip crease, and then shift weight forward to punch. The last thing I just want to make sure we're all on the same page is when we're in this position here, this is rollback position. So our arms, so after I've done, when I'm here and I do this push out, I'm in a nice rounded shape with my left fingertips pointing to right forearm center, chest rounded, chest absorbed, back rounded, nice round shape. So let's just do this a few times. Let me just watch you do this and see if there's anything that I missed. So just do it, whichever one, or yes, go ahead, Michael.
When you said on the punch part, when you have your fist down here,
yes,
when you have your fist down here, and you're bringing it up, are you bringing it the toe fist up, or are you releasing your fist as you come up to strike out? I'm not sure of this movement right there.
Very good question. The answer is actually neither of those two. So what I'm doing is I'm lifting my fist up and I'm turning it so that if my palm were open, my palm would be out, but I'm keeping my fist closed. Yes, like that. And it's in front of my shoulder. So you can see, so when we start after the, essentially the brush knee, when I lift my right arm, I don't have to rotate my arm. My palm is out and in front of me. when I've done from the chop with fist, I actually have to rotate my palm to get my fist palm on the outs, pointing out. Like that.
Then
Yes.
from that point, where you going from this point?
Yes. Say again?
Where do you go? Where are you going from this point? You just strike
Yes.
straight up?
Ah. Okay. So the question is, once I'm here, I'll go this side. I'm here. Once I'm here, where do I go? I go like this. So my arm, so one, weight halfway, lifts. Two, when I shift my weight back, I'm pushing out. And so I'm connecting with my opponent here with the center of my right forearm. Then I either do rollback, if my palm is open, or I do parry, block, and punch if I've done turn body chop with fist. So the first thing that I do is actually, once I bring my palm up here, I'm connecting out with my opponent. I'm actually controlling my opponent's arm. So I'm holding their arm is sort of across here, so that I can actually control their arm with my forearm and my holding hand here. Yes. Okay. So, one of the things that the next thing that I'd like to talk about is with that parry, block, and punch, what you've seen, and I'm trying to connect what you're learning in the second section to other parts of the form, we can now do parry, block, and punch from either side. We can do it from a... Yes. So let's just put a pin in that. So normally when we've done left brush knee in the first section, so we've done left brush knee, we're going to do parry, block, and punch. So we're in left brush knee, left foot forward. Let's do a parry, block, and punch. Actually, I'll go in the same direction as you. So let's do a parry, block, and punch. Shift back weight, open the left toe, both arms circle down, make a fist with the left. Second parry, block, and punch. So that's from the left. We can also do parry, block, and punch from the right, which is what we've learned in this section. So we're starting with the right bow stance, fist by the right hip. So here, what the transition is different. So one, lift the right fist, turn the arm in front of the shoulder. Two, press out. Now circle down for your parry. Step through for the second parry. Block and punch. So you can see that the parries, block, and punch are it's the transitions that are different, which is the way this goes. It's always the transitions that are different. Go ahead, Judy.
The point is that the rollbacks go in either direction, and the parry, block, and punches go in either direction, and they all include this circling motion that you're talking about with your arms. Is that?
Yes. So let me try and be a bit more precise. I think I was a little imprecise and a little confusing. So with the rollback, in the first section, the rollback goes to the right in the horizontal and then comes all the way to the left in the horizontal. So the arm all the way is going in the horizontal. When we're doing it from Embrace Tiger, we start with it going in the vertical plane, right? And then we do just a little bit of horizontal at the end.
Oh, now okay, yeah.
Okay. The last thing, yeah, so let's do the Embrace Tiger one more time, and let's just talk about the body movement and the weight shifting, because that's where I want to get to. Okay, so we're in a right bow stance, essentially right brush knee. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start shifting our weight back as we push out. Here is a coordination point, 70% on the back. And then we're going to do the rollback to here. So you can see that this is actually shifting to the back and then turning the waist. Shifting the weight to the back as you connect out and then turn the waist. Now let's do something a little different, which has got more body turning. And that's turn body chop with fist. We've got 2 of those in the second section, and the transitions are different, right? But actually the principle is the same, and it's a difficult movement. So let's do those 2. So the first one, and I'm now facing the same direction, assuming that we all started facing towards the front. We've done fan through the back. And so the first turn body chop with fist is from fan through the back, shift back weight, press down with the right, deflect down with the right, left over the shoulder, sit back onto the left, chop out, heel touch, bow stance, and then strike out with the left. So let's just do that one together, and I'll turn and face the other direction so that you can see better, but obviously you face in whatever direction you want to go. We're in fan through the back, left foot forward, left bow stance. So 1 is as you shift your weight to the right, you're deflecting down with the right palm, and the left palm is coming up against your shoulder. Your left foot is turned through 135 degrees. It is now pointing to the corner. As you sit back your weight onto the left, you're chopping out with the right fist. Your left palm is in front of your left shoulder. You've touched with the heel. You're in a bow stance, but you've only got 30% on the right heel. Now push with your back leg, your left leg, as you strike out with the left heel of the left palm. So the energy point is the heel of the left palm. Do that again. Turn body chop with fist. Shift weight to the right. Press down. Close the left toe. Here's a coordination point. Left foot to the corner. One hand over the head. The other one from the stomach. Sit back your weight. Chop out. Heel touch, bow stance. There's another coordination point. Now push out. 3. And finish. So you can see here, it's on a 3 count. So let me just watch you do this one, and let's see how we're doing. So start in fan through the back. So right palm by the right temple. Yep. Okay. Very good. So let me just fine tune a couple of things for us. One is, okay, so our starting position, the left palm, fingertips are pointing forward. The right palm, Taiji dyslexia. Fist width from the right temple. So the right arm movement, as we shift back, the right arm is going to make a circular movement and deflect down. So you're deflecting your opponent's punch down. So this is good. Then the second one, when we do the chop, I've noticed most of us are ending the chop too low. So when you end the chop, imagine that you're chopping at your opponent's nose. So your arm is curved, the back of your hand is more or less vertical. You're chopping high. Yes, that's looking great. Yes, absolutely. And then you pull that right hand down and strike out with the left. Yes. Step through. Yeah. So,
that's beautiful.
So just one thing is when we've done the chop, we're just striking out with the left. We don't step through. So let's just do that one more time.
I think I'm making a mistake.
Say again.
I think I'm making a mistake in taking an extra.
So let's just do the footwork. concentrate on the football. I'll show the arms, but don't worry about the arms if you're not interested in them right now. So 1, shift the weight to the right, circle the arms, left foot turns to the corner. Most of your weight's on the right foot. 2, sink onto the left, step out, heel touch, chop. Now the strike with the left hand is essentially just going to flatten the right foot onto the ground, and you're going to do a strike. So if you think about this ending posture, it's very much like right brush knee, except that instead of your palm being like this, your palm is like this. So you don't step, you don't have another step. We do the second step when we do parry, block, and punch. So that's the first one, turn body chop with fist. There's another one where the transition is slightly different. So let's just talk about that one. So there, with this one, yep. So we did the let's see, which way am I going? Yep. So we did the separation kicks. We did turn body. We've done left brush knee, right brush knee, punching down. So we're punching down. We're going to the 3 o'clock direction. And so from this punching down, we're going to do turn body chop with fist. So 1, straighten your torso so that your torso is in line with your back leg. 2, shift the weight over to the right foot, bring the left hand up. Right hand is in front of the solar plexus. And from here on out, it's the same. Step out and chop, shift weight forward, but don't step through. Block, strike out with the left arm. So let's do that one together. So we've done punching down. So punching down, left bow stance. We're punching. So just check your posture. What you want with your posture. Your right arm is about 45 degrees to the vertical. Your torso is about 45 degrees to the vertical. It's a right angle between your arm and your torso. For most of us that don't have a very low stance, that means that your torso is actually bent further forward than your back leg. So the first thing you do, 1, is you straighten up enough so that your torso is in line with your back leg. Now, pivot on the left heel. Sit back, chop out with the heel touch, chop to the nose of your opponent, and then strike with the left. One thing that you can really see with this version of turn body chop with fist, which is something that happens often in the form, is you're turning into your arm. So what I want you to pay attention to here is when, let's see, we're here. When you're turning in, imagine that your right fist is on a rail that's running sort of the same direction as your left leg, your left foot. And as you turn in, you're keeping your fist on that rail. So you're actually turning into your arm. This means when you sit back, you've got more power when you chop out. So turn into the right arm. Let's do that together. Left brush knee, we've done punching down. Turn body chop with fist. 1, straighten the torso so it's in line with the leg. 2, shift weight to the right, pivot on the left heel, turn into your right arm, left palm over the head. Sit onto the left, chop out, and finish with the striking out. Okay, nice, Judy. So let's do one more thing on this one, which is the coordination of the 2 arms. The right arm actually is simpler than the right arm. The left arm. It's actually simpler than we often think. It does very little. So let's start with the punching down. So to here is good. When we sit back, the left arm is just going to come in front of the shoulder. It's just going to come down in front of the shoulder as we chop out. So all the left arm is doing on that second big movement is it's coming down to in front of the shoulder in readiness for the strikeout. So it just comes down. Yes, Michael. Yes. So one thing, Judy, to just bear in mind is your left hand. When you start, it's protecting your head, so palm is out.
Okay.
When you're doing the chop, it's in front of your shoulder, so it's this coordination.
Okay.
So it goes from here to here. Then you do right. So it's from, actually it goes from here to here. So the right arm is doing this big chop out, but the left is just coming down. That's all it's doing. Very nice. Yes, Marianne, go ahead.
I have a question about the arm position between fan through the back and turn body from punch down. So if we're doing it lower from punch down, does that mean that the bop to the nose has a longer, slightly different angle? Or are they exactly the same?
I think they're effectively the same.
Because when we do the fan through the back, we come down and we go level with the arm, but we still want to be low in the body with the arm.
It's the same height. Yeah, it's the same height. So I think there is, for me, one difference. Let's see from here. So when I'm doing from punching down, I'm turning into my fist.
Right.
So my fist is actually maybe a little bit past center line because I've turned into it. When I'm doing the turn body chop, from fan through the back, I'm pressing down and I'm coming from the right to the left as I'm deflecting down.
Exactly.
But when I get to here, it's for me slightly past center line.
But it's still in the same low position of the abdomen.
Yes.
Okay, so the arc going to the nose is the same time and arc.
Yep.
Distance and arc. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes. So so the other thing that I want, go ahead, Judy.
I'm still confused. You said you were protecting your head first with your left arm.
Palm out. Yes.
With the right. And then
Yes. So the so let's go through that again.
one more time. Yeah.
So let's start from fan through the back. It's a little bit less up and down, less on the body. So the first thing we're going to do is the left palm over the shoulder, over the head. The right one is down here. And then as we step out and chop, the left palm comes in front of the right shoulder and the right one chops out. So the left arm comes from above the head to in front of the shoulder, as the right goes from solar plexus up to nose height. So what I'd like to do now in the last 5 minutes is to practice the whole second section again together. And what I'd like to do now is to just, practice what you need to practice. What I'd like to offer is think about the movements that we studied today, and in particular, think about the two principles that we talked about. One is the coordination from lower to upper. And so when we are moving from feet, legs, waist, arms. And then the second one is move continuously without interruption. So, while we're learning, we have to make sure we're on the checkpoints. But just for this practice, the last 5 minutes of the second section, whole course, just try and make it smooth and just feel that open, relaxed feeling that we had in standing practice when we started. Try and get that in your form. So let's practice together. So we'll do the whole thing as a form. We're going to start with just in prepare. Opening into cross hands. Embrace tiger. Return to the mountain. So here we're starting in a right brush knee. 1, shift weight back as the right palm comes to the shoulder. 2, press out with the right forearm. 3, right to left. Press. Push. Transition to fist under elbow. Fist under elbow. Step back. Repulse monkey. 1, 2, 3. Diagonal flying. Raise hands. Step forward. White crane. Spreads it, swings. Left brush knee. Needle at C bottom. Fan through the back. And here we go. Turn body chop with fist. 1, shift your weight to the right. Deflect down with the right palm, left palm over the forehead. Shift your weight onto the left, left palm to the shoulder. Chop out to the nose with the right. Shift your weight forward. Strike out with the left palm. Parry, block, and punch. Shift back weight, right palm to the right shoulder. Now shift back weight as you block out with the right forearm. Both arms circle down. Look to the back corner, heel touch as a coordination point. Shift forward, second parry. Heel touch as you block. Shift forward, leg bends as you strike. Step forward, grasp bird's tail. Forward off right. Roll back. So here you're just going from the right to the left as the weight shifts back at the same time. Press. Push. Transition to single whip. Single whip. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Single whip. High pat on horse. Right separation kick, transition. Right separation kick. Left separation kick, transition. Left separation kick. Turn body, left heel kick. This is the 180-degree one. Left heel kick. Left brush knee. Right brush knee. Step forward, punching down. Turn body, chop with fist. 1, straighten the torso a bit. 2, pivot on the left heel. The left palm protects the head, right in front of the stomach. Step out, heel touch, bow stance with 30% chop. Shift forward into a bow stance. Strike with the left. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Shift forward, right palm to shoulder. Shift back, out with the right forearm. Now both arms circle down for your first parry. Come forward, your second parry. Step out, block, punch. Right heel kick. Left strike tiger. Right strike tiger. Right heel kick. Twin fists. Boxing opponent's ears. Left heel kick. Here's the 360. Turn body. Right heel kick. Step forward, parry, block, and punch. Apparent closing up. Cross hands. Closing. Back to original position. And stop. So we'll finish there. We're a little bit over time. I apologize. And if you have more questions, just stay on and we'll cover those questions, because I'm not going anywhere. But let's close class formally. All right. 同学们，再见。
老师再见。